Okay, here's some hints for homework sheet 11. First question, nice easy one to get it started. Solve the equation. All we need to do is remove the brackets. So 2 times 3x, take away 2 times 4. Now you do not have to do 2 times 6 equals 10. So 2 times 3x is 6x. Take away 2 4s. Do not do anything with the 6 equals 10. Then we just need to get the negative 8 over, the negative 6 over, sort out the 6 in front of the x, and you can work out what the answer is. Question 2, simultaneous equations. Easiest thing I would do here is try and get the numbers in front of the y's the same. So I need to try and get both of those 4 in this case. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do that by doubling the first equation. So double everything in the first equation, 6x, 4y, negative 8. Leave the second one as it is. And then get rid of your y's, work out your x's, and then work out the value for y. Question 3, first one that caused a wee issue. Motorist travels 200 miles in 5 hours. First part of the journey was at 50 miles per hour. What was the speed for the second part? So we need this part here. Now the formula for speed is distance divided by time. Now we know that the first part used up 100 miles, so that means the second part is also 100 miles. What we don't know though is how long they've got to do the second part. First thing we therefore have to do is we have to look back at the first part here. How long did it take to do the first part? So we need to go a little bit backwards before we can go forwards. The time for the second part is the distance divided by the speed. That'll tell you how long the first part took. You can now work out how long the second part took, and then we can work out what the speed of the second part is. Question 4, a wee puzzle about cubes. Here's a wee diagram to illustrate it. How many of the cubes are touching the sides or the bottom of the box? So you need to go through each one and then count them up. Is this one touching the side or the bottom? Is this one touching the side or the bottom? Is this one? Is this one? Is this one? Is this one? And so on. And count them all up until you get your answer. Now, it's got to be less than 27, obviously. Question 5. Solve the equation by factorising. So, basically, told you what to do. A couple of brackets, factorise it, get your two answers, x equals, x equals. Question 6. The word in this question which tells you what type of question it is similar. As soon as you see that in the question, then we know how we go about solving it. It gives you the volume. Now remember the second volume is missing, it's 25. So we know the first one is 200, and we know the second one is 25. So if we work out the volume scale factor, and you should know how to do that, then you can work out what the linear scale factor is. Then you can work out how long the lines are. So if you know the volume, what's the linear scale factor? Once you know the linear scale factor, you should be able to work out the height of that second bottle. Question 7. Calculate the length of AB. So that's side X in my little diagram. Now, when you get these two triangles that are joined together like that, the best thing to do is to actually separate them out so that you've got two separate triangles. So there's your top triangle, there's your bottom triangle. Now the information we know for the bottom triangle is the angle's 20, that side's 10. For the top triangle, we know that angle's 35, and we know nothing else apart from the right angle, and we're trying to find x. Now if we're going to use SOHCAHTOA on this question, we're going to have to know what that side there is. So that side in relation to the second triangle is that side there. So basically we're going to do SOHCAHTOA twice. Right, you're going to do it first of all to find that side. Now let's call that side y. So we're going to find side y first of all, using SOHCAHTOA in the bottom triangle. That y is then going to generate up here. Once you know what that is, we're going to do SOHCAHTOA again to find x. So 2 applications of SOHCAHTOA. The second one in the calculator, you have to find the area of the petal. So you have to find the area of this bit in the middle. Okay. Now if I ask you to make this shape, then what you would do is you'd start with a square and then you would cut off the top bit and then you would cut off the bottom bit and you'd be left with the petal. So that's basically what we're going to do in terms of the sums. We're going to start with a square, so you're going to work out the area of a square, and you know how to work out the area of a square. The question tells you it's 3 centimetres square. Then you're going to work out the area of that quarter circle, and then if you take that quarter circle away, then you're going to be left with a wee top bit. So area of a square, area of a square, then you're going to take away that bit of the circle. That's going to leave you with this part up the top here. That bit up the top, because of symmetry, is going to be the same as that bit underneath. So if you take both of those bits away from the square, then you're left with the answer that you're looking for, which is the petal in the middle. Okay, so it's the area of a square, area of a quarter circle, get the area of the top bit, that's the same as the area of the bottom bit, take them away from the square and you're left with a wee petal. Question 3, solve this equation, give you an answer correct to 2 decimal places. Well, the 2 decimal places is a giveaway for this question. That means it's one of these negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So we're going to do a wee bit of work here on the left hand side first of all, actually on the equation. So we're going to have to remove the brackets, x squared minus 4x plus 4, bring the 2x over. You're going to rearrange that, you're going to identify what a is, what b is, what c is, and then you're going to plug those values into that formula to get your 2 answers. X is, X is. Last question, you've got a cone. You're told that the cone has a volume of 16 litres. Okay, you should know that 16 litres is equal to 16,000 centimetres cubed. We need to know that because the rest of the measurements are in centimetres. So, for V, I can put 16,000. A third is a third. Pi is pi. The radius, the question tells us, is 28.5. So I can put that in my formula as well. 28.5 squared times the height. Now I'm looking for the height, so that means the third has to go over to that side, the pi has to go over to that side, the 28.5 squared has to go over to that side, and then you're left with h equals. Okay, so take the third over, do the opposite to a third, take the pi over, what's opposite to times and by pi, take the 28.5 squared over, what's the opposite to times and by 28.5 squared, and if you do all that to 16,000, you should get your answer in centimetres. Hopefully that helps.